You got it locked on Roadium Radio.
Hey Tony, drop that. What bass? I bet. Dr. Dre in the place to be. Co-rockin' shit with my homeboy Steve. After Roadium, get stupid, yo. Don't think that you can get none of Dre. The motherfucking doctor, the bitch hopper, the sucker motherfucking stopper. I'm fucked up, so don't mind what I'm saying. I'm just kicking it, but Steve, Tony, A, and Susan, yo, we be choosing dope shit to put in a mix. Know what I'm saying? We kick shit like and that's a fact. And if your shit ain't in the mix, you know it's whack. And that ain't no bullshit. I'm kicking facts on a serious tip. Word up, Dr. Dre's in full effect doing serious damage, boy.
Tony A! Tony A! When you're ready, go.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 139. And before I introduce my very special guest, I want to give a quick shout out to somebody that drove out to meet me. I was in Denver Friday, Saturday, and earlier today, and they drove out to meet me at the room where I was at. And this is Mile High Maestro. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And the shop is, and I want to pronounce it correctly, Aves by Eternity. Eternity is the brand. Commerce is the click. So much love, much respect for the package that you gave me. So appreciate it. And other than that, I want to give once again a plug to the ads. If anybody wants to buy ads, you can go ahead and hit us at DOCUMIXERY/ads, and you can see what the price go. People are constantly hitting me up on what are the price go for an ad. So 1 minute ad, but you want all the information, you got to go to DOCUMIXERY.com and see how you can buy an ad. It's all there. Other than that, you can email us at roadiumradio@gmail.com if you want a little bit more info at that, or if you want to submit your music to Roadium Radio. Most people say, well, what do I need to get on Roadium Radio? I always tell people this, and I'm going to repeat it because I repeat it every week. Submit your music or videos and a short bio. Give me a little bit of history of yourself, and we'll go from there. And eventually someone from my team will eventually get back to you via email. I know a lot of you guys tell me, okay, I sent it. Tell me, what do you think? I'm not going to answer you via DM or inbox. I'm not. Somebody will contact you through the email. So until then, honestly, just wait for that email. And other people have still been asking me, can I still watch the DOCUMIXERY? Yes, go to DOCUMIXERY.com and you can rent it there, or unlimited streaming for a one-time purchase of, I forgot what it is, $24.99 if I'm correct, the 3-hour documentary, or you can watch the 1-hour film festival version on my YouTube page. And if you like it, maybe you can watch the whole hour or 3 hours worth. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce my very special guest of the night, Isabella Sol. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah. So how is your weekend going?
It's going good.
Oh, yeah? What is that you're drinking? It looks a little interesting.
Oh, it's Truly. I'm cutting back on beer because I was gaining a little bit of weight.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Can you speak a little bit closer to the mic?
Yeah.
I told you, everybody always leans back.
You're right.
All good. So let me tell you something. Other than your weekend going good, I know that last night there was a fight. Do you like boxing?
Not really.
What about sports in general?
Probably just basketball because I played
Basketball.
it in high school, and I'm a fan of the Lakers, but that's
Okay.
probably the only one.
Are you any good at basketball?
I hoops. You know, I was a shooting guard. I was okay. I didn't have handles, but I had a really good aim. Yeah.
Okay. And other than that, now I know that you sing.
Yeah.
And you also rap.
Yes.
But singing comes first.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's back up a little bit and let me ask you a question, because I want to jump right into this interview. And I like to ask this question because my thing is, it helps me to see, and it helps the audience to see what shaped and molded you to become the artist that you are today. Like, for an example, what type of music did you grow up with? Like, what would your mother, what would your father play as a little girl growing up?
Well, I was raised by my grandparents,
Okay.
so I listened to a lot of Spanish oldies because of that. I'm Guatemalan, And so we would listen to like marimba, which is kind of big in Guatemala. And so I grew up listening to like the señora music, like, you know, the Marco Antonio Solís, Rosia Durcal, and Leodan. Leodan was like the first artist whose music I started singing like at 9, his karaoke music. And Los Temerarios, Los Tigres del Norte.
Okay.
Yeah.
So predominantly like all Spanish.
Yeah, that's kind of what I grew up with. And then eventually, once I started listening to English, I was really into R&B, which is why that's kind of what I started singing R&B music, because I loved Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston and Celine Dion. That's when I started kind of developing my own taste in music, aside from my grandparents.
Okay. Now, growing up, did you play any instruments at all?
The acoustic guitar, yeah.
And do you still play that? Or no?
I actually stopped, and it's, you know, a guitar, well, I mean, an instrument is kind of like a language. If you stop speaking it, you kind of stop knowing how to play it. So I did grow up playing the acoustic guitar, but I stopped, and then when I went to Santa Monica College, I picked up the piano because I took like a couple like music classes. So then I started learning how to play the piano more than the guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where originally are you from? Like where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Los Angeles, South Central to be specific. Yeah.
Okay. And you didn't move around? That's pretty much where you stayed?
Yeah, for the most part. Like when I was a kid, it was mostly like K-Town, Koreatown. And then preteens, teens, it was South Central. And then I like moved to Hollywood for like a couple years because I went to Hollywood High. And then I went back to South Central. That's honestly where I feel the most comfortable, to be honest.
South Central?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like what I feel like most.
In the concrete jungle?
Yes.
Okay.
Anywhere else I feel like out of place. Maybe because that's where I've been like most of the time.
What elementary and like junior high school did you attend?
So my elementary school was Wilshire Crest. That's when I lived in K-Town, and that was like by La Brea and Pico. And then my middle school was Los Angeles Academy, which is like by Avalon and 56. That's when like shit got crazy. That's when I was like exposed.
Were you a smart kid?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You wouldn't even be able to tell, huh? No. Nah, but yeah, I honestly thought I was gonna end up going to like a UC or because we had like small learning communities in high school, and so I was like in SAS, which was like the School for Advanced Studies, and everyone there kind of went to like really good schools, and then I was kind of mad that I felt like I had wasted 3 years in French when I could have spent 3 years in choir and been like a magnet student instead.
Right.
But I didn't want to disappoint my grandma. She was very strict. I did end up moving out like at 16 to live with my real mom, and that's kind of when I was able to be a little more of myself. But I kind of did grow up in like a strict household because they had like old school views and a lot of things.
Yeah. You know, it's funny that you bring up like French, because even when I went to like high school, everybody wanted to learn French.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's the crazy part. Where am I going to speak French, and who am I going to speak it to?
That's true. It's a sexy language. It's good to know.
I mean, I think Spanish is a sexy language.
Honestly, though, that's true.
Like if you say, you know, me gustan tus nalgas. All depends on how you say it.
Yeah. So. Luckily, I'm fluent in Spanish as well. So.
Right. Okay,
yeah.
Good. Now, are you pretty good in French?
No, I'm decent. I kind of stopped speaking it. I know like just the basics. Like if I go, I can tell you like je m'appelle Isabella Sol, comment tu t'appelles, like what's your name, or enchanté, like nice to meet you. Just like, you know. Okay. Basics.
I know a little bit like French fries, French toast, French kiss. I mean, that's like the French.
That's like the most important, like French that you should know, anyways. So.
Well, that's hood French.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let me ask you this: what does Isabella do on a weekend, especially since there's COVID?
Yeah.
And you can't really do shiznit.
Yeah, I like to read. I like to read a lot. And that's actually, you know, something I'd want to do would be like write a book as well. If I wasn't pursuing music, I'd probably be pursuing writing.
Okay.
Because like I always really liked English and I always really liked writing. I'm a big fan of Stephen King. I know you like horror.
Yeah.
And I love Stephen King and his books. And yeah, no, I'm a big reader. I like to read. I also like to work out. I like to run and work on abs. And I think that's work on my stretch bands.
You said work on abs.
Yeah, work on abs. That's what. I feel like that's what I'd be doing during the day, and then like at night I'll probably like Netflix and chill by myself and have like a drink.
Truly, yours. Truly.
Yeah, a truly. I've been on a margarita phase though, so
okay.
I'll either be drinking a margarita, watching a movie, a scary movie, my favorite, or a truly. Yeah.
Okay, now I got to ask you about scary question.
Yeah.
If you could, your top three favorite scary movies.
Ooh. Okay. It's so funny. I saw Chucky and I was like, oh my gosh. Child's Play 2. Mm-hmm. I remember being in 3rd grade, running home to watch Child's Play 2. The second one specifically. Right. I've seen them all, but something about the second one. That's the one where there's like the factory, right? Yeah. Right. So something about like him like getting burned in the acid was just really cool to me.
Is that the one where he plays Hide the Soul? Remember when he lays hands on somebody and he transfers himself?
Yeah, but this is the one where he still chased Andy, the little boy.
Okay.
He's like chasing him, and they're basically at the factory where they build all the Chuckies. And so that's my favorite one because there's so many Chuckies everywhere. It was interesting to me. And then I also like, like most recent, I'd probably say that it's not that old. I really like Insidious just because of like the plot twist. And then the other ones are also really good, like the Insidious 2 and 3. So I'm a big fan of Insidious. Which other one? I really like Pet Sematary as well. Pet
Sematary, the old one, the old Stephen King one?
The old one, yeah. But I saw the new one and it's not bad either.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't mind it, but if I had to choose, definitely the first one.
What about The Exorcist?
Not bad. Yeah, it's not bad, but probably not one of my favorites. It's just there.
Okay, now tell me why. Tell me. Okay, let me tell you something. I grew up watching that shit. That shit fucking traumatized me.
Really?
Traumatizing me. You know, now I have to tell my son this, that I go, look, mijo, you have to understand this movie came out in the 70s. This movie was like 20 years ahead of its time, okay? Nobody ever did a movie about somebody possessed by the fucking devil, you know? Nobody's gonna stab themselves in the...
That's probably why they traumatized you.
it did, like, it was fucking creepy. And then her jumping on the bed, you know, and I had a cheap bed to begin with. So you
would hear noises?
Yeah. So every time I heard a spring, I wait.
You'd be like, The Exorcist.
Yeah, and my mom just scared me. Said, "Te va a meter el diablo."
Oh my gosh, she's so mean.
Yes. So I'm like, fuck, I can't escape. So that movie traumatized the hell out of me.
Really?
So I can't see that. And then, you know, you never heard sounds like, ugh.
That's true,
so
yeah.
Like,
no, it's good. I liked it though, but yeah, probably not one of my. What about Jeepers Creepers?
That one was cool.
Because people told me the same thing about Jeepers Creepers. They were like, you're going to be traumatized. You're going to be scared. It's a scary movie. And then I saw it and I was like, it was good, but it didn't really scare me that much.
See, I'm more of a Michael Myers type of guy.
Yeah, I like him too.
I like him. I like him better than Jason, you know. But one thing about Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, and Jason, let's be real. If you watch their movies, the only time they kill somebody is when they catch somebody boning somewhere.
I didn't think of that.
It's like... If you're not boning, you're safe. So a lot of guys out there are safe. So anyway, okay, playtime's over. One of your all-time favorite comedy movies?
Comedy. I like White Chicks.
White Chicks, that was cool.
Yeah, I feel like that's a funny movie. I like the Wayans brothers.
Okay.
And their work. I
like them, but more when it was In Living Color. It was a TV show back in the days, back when the dinosaurs used to roam the earth. That's how. But I like them. My favorite one, of course, everybody knows, is Coming to America. They just did a part 2. I didn't think it looked that good. I thought it was made like good, but I don't think it's good enough to put up there with Coming to America.
I've only seen bits and pieces. I haven't seen like the whole.
Oh, I fucking love that movie. That's a dope movie. Okay, so now let's bring up some hip hop movies. Have you seen any hip hop movies? For example, 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Have you seen Straight Outta Compton?
Yes.
Notorious?
Yes.
Get Rich or Die Trying?
Yes.
and then there's a Tupac movie.
Yeah. What's the name? Don't tell me. Because I recently saw it. All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on You.
Yes.
Okay, now, out of all those, 8 Mile, Straight Outta Compton, Notorious, and then you have, which one did I just say? Notorious.
Get Rich Die Trying.
Get Rich or Die Trying, and then the last one was Tupac movie.
Yes.
Which was your favorite one?
You know, it's so funny because my favorite artist out of all those movies is Biggie.
Okay.
But my favorite movie probably would be All Eyes on Me. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was the worst one out of all of them.
Really?
Yes. I thought that was the worst one.
Really?
That shit should have been on Lifetime, you know.
Oh,
on
man.
TV.
I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Okay, I'll tell you a quick inside story on that, okay? Earlier we were talking about working out and eating right and everything.
Mm-hmm.
One day me and my son are working out. And we were doing curls, so I handed it over. So I turn around and see one guy, and I look at him, and I'm like, oh, shit. And he smiles at me and goes, it's me. That's what he said. And
The
I was
Tupac
like,
guy.
It was a Tupac guy, yeah. He's originally from Carson. So he's looking at him, I go, fuck, you do look like his ass.
You were like, Tupac came back from the dead.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, I met Tupac in 1992. He was 19 years old, and we were out in Oakland.
Really?
So, and I told him that story, and I showed him pictures of the day that I was there, and, you know, Tupac took that picture for us. He just didn't want to get in the picture. And he tripped out. He was like, oh, shit, because the whole group was in there. And I took a picture with him, and I had asked him, like, what are you doing? Do you act or anything? He said, well, doing the Tupac movie. And I said, really? He goes, yeah, I just got back from Vegas. We shot the scene where they kill him.
Died.
Yeah. And he goes, we're not done yet. It's not that big budget, but it's going to be made for TV. So I said, oh, okay. So we were expecting to see like a series.
Oh.
So what happened was a couple of months later, he said that they were done, but a studio picked it up. Now they're going to release it in the theater. So I thought, okay, they got a bigger budget. Since this was made for TV, maybe they're going to I don't know, beef it up a little bit or something.
Yeah.
And he said, no, they're going to release it just the way it is. So when I saw it, I went in there looking at it like this shit was made for TV.
So that's something I was going to ask you. Like, do you think that it could have been better because you know it could have been better?
Yes, I think so.
See, I was unaware of this story. I didn't know that it was made for TV at first, and then
Right.
you know, now that I know, I'm like, okay, I probably would have walked in or seen it and thought different. Like, you know, they could have done this better or that better.
Right.
But
and even he said the same thing.
that it could have been better.
Yeah, that movie was highly criticized, but people praised him for playing a good part, and I believe he played a great part.
That might be why I like it, to be honest. Because I was trying to think right now, okay, why does he think it was so bad? And I'm like, okay, wait, think about the parts you enjoyed. And then I'm like, when he was performing, basically.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
I was vibing out when he was
Yeah.
performing Tupac songs. He got the mannerisms down.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
like, okay, I dig this movie.
Yeah, he did that. He did that really, really well. Now, you said you like Biggie. Biggie's All Eyes on Me. I mean, I'm sorry, Biggie's Ready.
Ready to Die?
Is it Ready to Die? No,
Yeah.
no. The second album. God, I always quote it and I always forget it. What's the name of the second album? Life After Death. It's a double CD. Then you got Tupac, All Eyes on Me. Okay, came out around the same time. If you had to choose one of those records, which one would you choose?
I'm going to get shit for this. Life After Death, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's your choice. That's your choice.
Yeah.
For me, I would have chose, of course, the Tupac. And as far as the movies, my favorite movie out of all those was Straight Outta Compton.
Ooh, that one was really good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw that one in theaters.
Yeah.
It was really
my
good.
My second best one, some people probably get mad at me because everybody likes 8 Mile. That's cool. But that one, I liked Get Rich or Die Trying, the 50 one.
Oh, 50. Yeah, no, that one
Yeah.
was dope too.
Yeah, so I like that one. So now, let's talk a little bit about who would you say or inspired you to start singing, and around what age were you?
I was probably like 9, and I'd say I was like really obsessed with Mariah Carey.
Really?
Yeah, like I loved her. Like, so I'd say she inspired me a lot.
Now, what do you say to people that say that Mariah Carey looks like Michael Myers?
I'd say she could still kill you with that voice, though. That voice is still a legend. You know, she still got her whole catalog going on.
Somebody made a meme and they put Mariah and Michael Myers side by side, and they looked alike.
No.
And I was like,
terrible.
wow. It's one of those things where you cannot unsee.
Okay,
know?
but do you remember how she looked like when she was young?
Yes. Yeah, of course. Remember our first album? What was it? Vision of Love. Mm-hmm. You know, and but after that, it kind of like changed a little bit. Hey, here's the funny part, and people are gonna hate on me for saying this. There's a lot of groups out there that I know are fucking super talented, but for some reason, I just never liked them. It just wasn't for me.
Didn't click.
It didn't click. I'll give you an example. I think they're dope. I think the record sales speak for themselves.
I'm kind of scared of what you're gonna say.
But I was never a fan of like Janet Jackson.
Oh, okay.
I was never a fan of Mariah Carey. And I could never tell you that they were whack because I would be lying.
Yeah.
I think they're talented. Their music just didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. You know, you don't deny their talent. It just, their music just didn't. And I know a lot of artists as well that, you know, they're very talented, but their music just didn't do anything for me, at least.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I remember a long time ago, somebody kept giving me their music, and I was like, dude, I'm not feeling this group. And I'll tell you who they are. I do think they're talented. I just wasn't feeling them. Outkast.
Yeah, I was really scared of who you were going to say, and it's...
Okay,
I was like, how bad can this be?
Okay, like when I first got the first Cypress Hill demo, I loved it, okay? And a lot of people told me, that motherfucker sucks. And I was
But
like...
it worked for you, right?
It worked for me. It worked for me, and look at them now on the Hollywood, Walk of Fame. So, but
Yeah.
it worked for me. So different strokes for different folks. But now, so you like Mariah Carey. Who are some of the other people that you really dug?
At the time, I'm trying to think, okay, let's see, you're in elementary school. Who were you listening? Oh, Fergie. I really liked Fergie. The one that cagó el palo with the national anthem.
Oh, that was horrible.
But at the time, I remember she had Clumsy out, Glamorous. It's when, the Black Eyed Peas were really popular.
Yeah.
And I really dug her music. At the time, I thought she was like everything.
Wow, and she's the my humps, my humps.
Funny story. Oh my gosh, just thinking about it is so cringe. If I went to middle school with you and you're watching this, they'll probably know. But there was like this songwriting contest in middle school. First place got $100, second place got $50, third place got $25. And you had to write a song, and you had to make it educational. So I used the My Humps. I was like in 6th grade, don't judge me. The My Humps instrumental, and it was like, I remember some shit like, do your homework. And I won 2nd place. I got $50.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it was because just people thought it was really funny. Because I remember it did get a lot of attention. I did it just, not thinking anything was going to happen, but I ended up winning 2nd place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so the national anthem.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Oh my gosh. I don't know how those basketball players were able to keep their composure, that well, because they were laughing, but it was kind of a situation where it's like you wanted to burst out laughing.
Yeah.
And they were just trying to smile and play it off, but it was funny,
Yeah.
It was, oh man, I don't know. It was one of those things where she probably felt in her head it was a good idea.
Yeah, it was a good idea, but no. But you know what? Usually when you have too many yes men around you, oh yeah, go for it, girl. That'll work.
You know what? Oh man, I didn't think about that. Someone probably told her, "Hey, it's a good idea. Go for it. It's different. Let's do it." And
okay, I'm gonna ask you this. See if you paid attention. As far as national anthems are concerned, do you have a favorite one, or have you ever seen or YouTube or Googled a favorite national anthem that you could remember?
Yes, my favorite one probably be Lady Gaga, Super Bowl. Really? Yes, it was really good. Like that girl can sing. Yeah.
Okay.
It was really good.
Mine, and I want everybody to Google this. You too, okay? When you get a chance.
Google Lady Gaga's too, though.
I will, because I didn't even know she even did it.
Yeah, no, she's really good. She's a pop star, but she has vocals like really talented.
Everybody's always said Whitney Houston, okay? Everybody's always said it, and I've heard it. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
But for me, being a guy, you have to listen to Marvin Gaye sing the national anthem. And you know how he did it? Are you familiar with that song, Sexual Healing, that he did? Mm-hmm. He did it in that style.
Really?
Fucking amazing.
I haven't heard it, but I'm extremely curious. And I will definitely be
it's fucking amazing. I'm probably giving up my soft side right now, but that shit made me cry. I'm serious. It was that fucking good.
It strung some chords, huh?
Yeah, and then especially, you see the guy singing, he's gifted, he's talented, he's blessed, and then you find out that, he was killed, if I'm correct, by his pops. If I'm correct, yeah. It's like,
Tragic.
fuck. Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, other than that, so Mariah Carey was your girl. And now, at what point would you say that you could remember that you recorded yourself and that you heard it played back where you could say, oh shit? Do you remember around what time, what age you were?
Well, I always knew that I liked to sing, but I was very, very shy, when it came to singing. So I didn't record myself and heard myself till I was in high school. And I was probably in the 10th grade, and, that's when someone was like, hey, you're pretty good at this, or you're not bad. And so I remember I performed, I was in ROTC, and I did the national anthem as well.
You were ROTC?
Yeah. First sergeant. I was just full of surprises, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in ROTC, so I sang the national anthem. And they were like, hey, that was pretty good. And then I remember there was a fundraiser. I performed and I sang My Heart Will Go On. Oh, so corny, by Celine Dion. And that's when I heard myself, and I'm like, hey, if I tune it and work on it and really, put my mind to bettering my voice, maybe I can do something with it.
Right.
So probably till high school.
So somebody recorded you and then you heard it back?
Yes.
Now, what was your first thoughts when you heard your voice?
I was like, wow, there's power in there. There's
really?
Power in there, and you just gotta master that power, because, I could tell that there was certain notes that I could have hit better, or there were certain notes where I sounded flat, and I knew that if I worked on it, I could sound better.
Okay.
So I saw potential, basically.
Okay, and what encouraged you to pursue that, to continue to sing?
So after I performed in that fundraiser, it was in 10th grade, when I heard everyone clapping, I was like, oh, this feels nice, So that's when I was like, hey, why don't I try going for it, or try pursuing it? And so I did what any other person who wanted to sing did at first, which was do covers. They didn't go anywhere at all. It wasn't getting any attention at all.
Like what covers were you doing?
I would do whatever was on the radio just to see if that would help. And no, it was nobody was, it was just basically people I went to school with or coworkers that were listening. And so it was a bit discouraging, but I knew there was going to be a lot of discouraging moments. I didn't start seeing myself going anywhere with this until I started putting out original stuff, original music, and that's when I started getting a little bit of buzz, and I thought that was dope, because I figured, hey, people rather hear something that you do instead of you singing someone else's song. Okay,
cool. So we're gonna go ahead and press pause right there. We're gonna go ahead and take a 10-minute break. We'll come right back and pick it up right where you left off. Is that cool?
Sounds good.
Okay, everybody, make sure you call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody, let them know that Isabella Soul is in the motherfucking building. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Google Marvin Gaye. Hurry up. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch.
Tony A, chillin' at the Roadium with my homeboy Steve. Be on the lookout for our new 12-inch, the shit is dope. Yo, I like to say what's up to my homeboy Dre, my homeboy Prince of Jazz, and the girls with the big ol' ass. So Trip, I'm about to bust one more time to let y'all niggas know just what's on my mind.
In the morning, police at my door, fresh as eat squeak across my bathroom floor. Out my back window, I make my escape. Didn't even get a chance to grab my old school tape. Mad with no music, but happy cause free. And the street to a player is the place to be. Got a knot in my pocket weighing at least a gram.
Yo, right about now, Dr. Dre is in effect. Cold tearing shit up with my man Steve at the Roadium swap meet. And we here to lay it on the line. To all them sucker niggas out there claiming our tapes and shit, we just got one thing to say.
Look at you doing, your ass is mine. Look at you doing, your ass is mine. Look at you doing, your ass is mine.
Yeah! Now my name's Dr. Dre. I'm the baby. Now my
do to catch it. Here it come, here it come, here it kitty come, come. Here it come, here it come, here it kitty come, come. Just do 1 2 1 2. Right about now, Eazy-E and Dr. Dre's in the motherfucking house.
Times are getting crazy, it's really hard to choose it. The Roadium's a spot to get funky, fresh music. Easy motherfucking E and my homeboy Dr. Dre. MC Ren is in effect, and you know we don't play. The Roadium is hitting, but you know you can't leave until you get a deaf ass tape from Steve. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape.
Yeah, man, I came all the way down to the Roadium spot, man, to pick up one of them NWA tapes, man. And I talked to homeboy Steve down there, man, and he said I'm fresh out of tapes, man. How the fuck you fresh out of tapes, man? He said cause they selling like hotcakes and shit, man.
Got my man throwing down.
Hey mom, what's for dinner?
Ice Cube getting dumb at the Roadium with the funky drum, and you know my man Steve can get some. With a fool like Tony A when he plays stupid dope shit by WA. You wanna spray? Dumb motherfuckers, no doubt. And sucker DJ, get the fuck out. Tony A.
What did you say your name? What did you say your name?
Tony A.
I have won 1 million battles.
Lights, cameras, action, sound. Give me that mic, I'm about to go down.
Thinking of a master plan.
This story's funny. I met this girl and she had money.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio, episode 139, and we're gonna go ahead and jump right back into it with Isabella Sol. So we were talking about Jeepers Creepers. No, Michael Myers. No, The Exorcist. No, Mariah Carey. Michael Myers.
We were talking about a lot of things.
Yes. So now, okay. So you heard yourself in high school. Somebody recorded you singing the national anthems, and you were on ROTC. Okay. And from there, you said you decided to take it a little bit more serious. What was your next step to take it serious?
Well, I took a couple music classes at Santa Monica College because I wanted to learn like the basics, like keys and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that, and I took like a vocal class and like an English class because I really liked doing book reports. And then I stopped and I was like, okay, so let's hop in the studio and do this. And it was not that easy. I like hopped in the studio and I realized, okay, so, you know, you can't do this on your own. You need a really good engineer. And that's something that I had to like pinpoint and find. And once I did, it was really awesome because he's like my other half in music. Like we hop in the studio and he knows what I want. He knows what I'm thinking. Right. So yeah, I went to a studio in like downtown LA and he was working there and I worked with him. He mixed and mastered my first EP and my first album. Basically the 2 projects I have out. And so that's when I think you can say I took it serious. Like I put my own stuff out.
Okay, now let's talk about your EP. Okay, who gave you that idea to do an EP? Was it you? Because most people say I want to work on an album or want to work on a single. What inspired the EP and who produced it, or you know what I'm saying? Who helped you put it together?
So first I took out a single. It's called Woman, and it's so funny because people heard that song and they assumed I was going to go towards the more conscious rap direction, but really it was just something I had to get off my chest. It was kind of inspired by somebody going through domestic violence, and so I put the single out and people kind of assumed I was going in this direction. And then I was like, okay, let me just drop something short and sweet so that I can have something under my belt and that I can, you know, work with in getting shows and stuff like that. So that's why I decided to go for an EP, which was just 5 songs, because I wanted something I'd be able to show to people. And so I dropped Woman, and then I dropped the EP, which is called Raw. And yeah, and then I dropped visuals for the entire EP.
Okay, now as far as production, who helped you put that together?
His name is Taylor. He works in a studio in downtown LA. He's really good. He's really talented. And I believe he was even working with some people from XO, the Weeknd's label. So that's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. And so I feel super grateful and blessed that he's down to work on my stuff.
Okay. So you pretty much approached him, hey, listen, I sing, I want to do 5 songs.
Yeah, so I took him, because first I took him 2 tracks that I had recorded, and I'm like, hey, like, I tried working on this with, somebody else, and it didn't work out for me. Like, can you help me? And he was like, yeah, sure. And so he took both tracks. I remember it was Play a Girl's Anthem and Woman. And he mixed and mastered them, and he added like certain things that's the cool thing about engineers. Like, they add the final touches, whether it be like little ad libs or here and there, just adding little things in your songs that make it come to life. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I was like, hey, like, I'm planning on working on an EP, like, are you down to like help me with it? And he was like, yeah. So he helped me mix and master that whole project, and I feel like it was pretty good. And so I was like, all right, I need you for my album too.
Now, those songs, did you write all those songs?
Yeah, all of them, and created the melodies as well. I feel like that was the hardest part, because I run through like different melodies, and I have to choose which one sounds the best. And sometimes I record it and it sounded better in my head, and then I scrap it. But yeah, melodies are fun, but they can be a pain.
Does writing never come easy to you?
Yeah, it does. Writing, I feel like, is what comes the easiest to me, and I feel like the melodies are the ones that I struggle with at times, especially for hooks, because I want to make them catchy. So writing, I've always loved doing it. I started off with poems, and then I started writing songs. But again, like, the hardest part is, building a skeleton for the song, like making sure the verses, are they good? The hook, is it catchy? Do you need a bridge, or should we just let the instrumental play out? Like, it's hard. It can be, yeah. Did
you do any rapping? Because I know you said you sing first, and then you like rap second. Did you do any rapping on the EP?
Yeah, I did. I remember my first song where I was rapping was Play a Girl's Anthem. I had dropped it on my SoundCloud, and I remember I recorded it in my room because I built my little studio in there. And I remember after, because that was the first time I had ever rapped, which was probably like 3 years ago. Because singing I've been doing forever, but rapping, I think about it now, and I remember I recorded myself and I heard it, and I started laughing because I'm like, oh my gosh, you sound ridiculous. Stop. But I was like, you know what, just put it out. Like, who's going to tell you something? Like, just put it out. I only had like a couple of people knowing that I sang, so I put it out, and people actually, they were like, oh, hey, this is good. So I was like, okay, like, keep rapping, like, try something else. And so I did end up rapping, but there's also like powerhouse vocals in that EP with sides. I feel like that's one of my favorites, and a lot of people's favorites, because it's very like Alicia Keys vibe or Adele vibe. And that's what I thought I was going to be doing, like, only.
Right.
Never thought I was going to be rapping. And if I were to describe my sound, I'd probably say powerhouse vocals with like a touch of like hip hop.
Wow.
I know it's weird, but I somehow decided to combine those.
Well, but that's what makes you, that's your sound. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what sets you different, because you're not trying to sound or be like anybody else.
That's true.
That's what sets you apart. Mm-hmm. We had a discussion here, I think my last episode of my boy Ralph Fam. We had such a great interview, and we talked about music on 80s, 90s. There were no two rappers, no two groups that sounded the same. If you did, that would be biting. You're biting somebody's shit. You're taking somebody's style. You took somebody's sound. Today, fucking biting doesn't exist. Everybody sounds the same.
Yeah, with the whole mumble rap.
Yeah, everybody sounds the same. And it's like, let's just say you come out with a new style, like it's your style. Mm-hmm. Another female says, oh, let's do what she's doing. That shit's popping right now. Mm-hmm. And then you got another 100 females, let's do what she's doing. Mm-hmm. Now they're just duplicating you, And now we have a whole if you will, generation of people that sound like one person or all sounding the same. And that's why it's very, very hard for me to get into music today. Now, some people say, oh, you're just fucking hating. It's not hating, dude. It's fucking facts.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, today we live in
don't like how it works now.
Yeah. We live in a generation that that you can't disagree with them or else you're hating.
Yeah. Or you're canceled.
Yeah. You know, so, or you're just too old, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my son. He used to always tell me, oh, you're just hating. Look, mijo, I love fucking hip hop, okay? When I listen to hip hop, I look for 4 elements. Sometimes I look for breakdancing, MCing, DJing, you know, b-boying, you know, dancing, breaking, or whatever. And I don't see that in today's music. I don't see those elements of hip hop in today's music. So it's hard for me to, you know, you got dudes rapping like 4-word verses. But
Yeah.
And you know what? And if people like that, I'm cool with it. But when they ask me, do you like it? And I
You're
say,
like,
no, you're just hating. Don't fucking ask me then.
You're like, times are different now.
Right.
Yeah,
You know-
because unfortunately, the crowd does like that, you know, because now it's what's popular.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's cool, but here's the thing. If I work with an artist, my thing is I'm going to develop your sound. Because I'm not going to have you follow, you know, the leader over here.
Yeah.
Because that's not what's going to set you apart. If you follow them, guess what? You're just duplicating them. And then when you do have your meeting with maybe your major record label, if they ever give you a meeting, they're going to tell you, what makes you different? Well, I just sound just like him. Oh, okay. Well, there's 10,000 other girls just like you.
Yeah.
So you have to stick what works for you, you know, and then build your own crowd and, you know, go from there.
Yeah.
So the EP drops, it's done. What was the if you will, the feedback that you got?
The outcome.
Yeah.
Well, that EP kind of just set things off, I guess you can say. Once I dropped visuals, because visuals, you know, they're really important.
Very, very important.
And anybody who watches my videos, they can tell and they know and they see that I do put a lot of thought behind them. Like I always have a vision once I start working on a music video of how I want it or any ideas, and then I put them together. Videos are really important to me. So it was, once I dropped the EP, I dropped visuals for all the songs, and then the one that caught the most attention was Sides. That's actually how I met my current manager. And that one was what created a lot of buzz. And I still feel like that song is extremely underrated, which is why I'm going to continue re-releasing it until it gets, you know, the attention it deserves. But that's kind of the one that, because the video was so good too, like it told a story of like a, you know, toxic relationship. And so I started getting DMs of like people wanting to work with me and saying they like my sound. And so basically that song from that EP was kind of what pushed me into working with other people and meeting people.
And what was the name of that song again?
Sides.
Sides. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now let me give you a something that you probably already know, and something that your manager, I'm sure, already knows. Don't just work with anybody.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like we're aware that it was actually hard for me to work with somebody. I believe my first collaboration was with Young Uno, who you had here. He was the first person that I worked with on a song because I was just kind of struggling to find somebody who I wanted to work with. And so it took time and to actually decide to work with somebody. So we're definitely picky with that.
And, you know, the thing is, because I know certain females that are on everybody's, you know, album. And after a while, you're just like, oh man, that girl's on everywhere.
You kind of get tired of hearing them.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you an example. I remember when I was producing my record, Cypress Hill was shopping their deal with our record label. And our record label was fucking stupid enough they passed up on them. So we liked their shit and we were trying to get them on one of our songs. When we contacted their management, they just said they're not recording with anyone.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of made them a little bit more like, fuck.
Appealing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So keep that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You know, keep that because, again, you know, after this interview, I'm sure guys are going, hey, I want to do a track. Yeah. Send me a verse. Nah, homie, talk to my managers. You know?
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
And another thing is this, honestly, know your worth. Don't do nothing for free.
Yeah.
Don't fall for the old okie doke. Well, you're nobody. I'm helping you get your name out there.
Yeah.
Now, I'm getting my name out there. You're calling me because my name's out there.
Yeah.
So if you want my name and my song, my verse on your song, you're going to have to pay me.
Yeah.
And that's if we say yes. So keep it like that, because if not, you do it for free, you're going to be the for free girl.
Yeah, no.
So, and you don't want that.
No.
So sides, but visuals are very, very important. And we come from a generation that, like, for an example, we might have heard a song on the radio. That song was cool. As soon as we saw the fucking video, that shit was bad.
Yeah, no, visuals, they're just so important. Like, sometimes people fall in love with the song because they see the video.
Yes.
And it just changes the game.
Yes.
And that's what I feel happened with sides.
There was a song, and I'm sure they'll remember. It was by Coolio, Fantastic Voyage, okay? And when I first heard the song, they slowed the sample too slow. I don't like the way he came off on it. But as soon as I seen the video, I was sold on it. I was like, that's the shit. So visuals are very, very important. So keep that up and keep them creative.
Yeah.
Because most videos today, and I know people are going to say I'm hating, but they're going to agree.
That's how you feel. That's how you feel.
Okay, this is not in order, but here we go. A girl twerking in slow motion, that's one thing that they always add. Okay.
Dollar bills.
Yeah. Throwing fake money at the camera. Okay. Blowing weed in slow-mo at the camera. Having a red cup with no Hennessy, just like if you got a drink or something.
Yeah.
And maybe a lowrider.
Oh, yeah.
That's what videos have become today. And they're probably filming it on a cell phone with a stabilizer.
Yeah.
Like, and then check out my new video. Yeah, okay. I like different. Stick to being different. Stick to being yourself, So that's why I never just work with anybody. There's people that have asked me, hey, man, would you come out of my video? I always say, send me your song first. Oh, just come through. Send me your song first. Because I've been tricked. You
go and then you hear the song and you're like,
I hear the damn song. I couldn't even bob my head on time. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, come on, man, get in. No, I gotta go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Haul ass, homies, get the fuck out of here. So, send me the song first. Because sometimes, sometimes some of those guys have no business rapping.
Yeah.
So, anyways, people don't like me because I'm brutally honest. So.
Maybe we need that, though.
Yes. So the EP drops. How long before you start working on the album?
Oh, man. I think it was like a week after.
Now, why a week?
I dropped the EP and the album the same year. Well, because once I saw it, I'm like once I saw that I had a little buzz, I'm like, let's go, I was like, vamos recio.
Yeah,
and then we kept going. And so, I dropped the EP and the album within the same year, I believe. Yeah, I believe the EP dropped on April and then the album dropped in November. Yeah. Okay,
now, who did the production on the album? Same guy?
Same guy, yeah, same guy. So luckily it sounded coherent because it was rap and singing. Like now it's like you have a ratchet rap song in there and then you have like a super slow R&B jam. And I remember asking him like, do you think this is all over the place? Do you think it's messy? Do you think it's not going to sound right? And he's like, no, because it's being mixed, mastered, and engineered by one person. He's like, so it's going to sound coherent at the end of the day. And he helped me, he even helped me like with the order of the song so that it can still like tell a story and still, get the message through.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty much on your EP sides was pretty much your favorite, you would say?
Yes.
On this album, how many songs were there?
9, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah.
9, and what was the name of the album?
Daddy Issues.
That's a good title.
The funny thing is the name of the album was split in 2 songs. So one song was called Daddy and then one was called Issues.
Okay.
And they were right in the middle, so they were right next to each other.
and what was your favorite song off of that one?
Man, okay, so the crazy thing about it is that on my EP, the Powerhouse vocal song popped off. Cool. On this album, I'd probably say that my favorite was also the one that popped off. It's called Freak, which if you ask anybody, I feel like about me or if they've heard about me, it's because of that song. Like,
really?
Freak, yeah. And it's a ratchet song, which is why I'm telling you, like, sometimes that's what the people want. you know, and it was crazy because it honestly came about accidentally. I don't know if you've heard the song Berserk with ASAP Ferg and Big Sean. I heard it and I thought it was so cool how they were going back and forth, and then it was Hitmaker was the person who did the beat, and I loved the beat. I heard it and I was just like, wow, like this is dope. And then I came up with something in my head and I was like, hey, like I'm gonna put like a little freestyle out like on my IG just for people, and it blew up. Like people were like reposting it, and then I was like, should I like put out an entire song? And then I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And then I put out an entire song. I put out a visual. That's like my most viewed video as well. Really? And so it's crazy how we went from this to this, you know, and so that was, I think, I'd say that would be like my favorite, because it's like a moment, you know, it's like a moment. That song.
Is it possible that you're still maybe finding your sound in? Yes,
definitely. I know that if people were to ask again, I'd say, you know, powerhouse with a little bit of hip hop, because again, I grew up thinking I was going to be singing songs like, you know, Alicia Keys, like that's what I was going to be doing. And then I ended up rapping as well. So I kind of like to dabble in both, sometimes combine them. But yeah, I still feel like I haven't found my exact sound.
Okay. What can fans expect today? What are you working on today now?
So I have a single dropping the 8th of March. And we're back to, you know, the whole powerhouse R&B style. So they can expect more of that, because I was like, I'm trying to get back in touch with my roots with singing, because I'm like, that's who I truly am, and that's who I want to continue being. Rap is fun. I like to think of singing as my passion, and, you know, rap more like something that I enjoy doing. So I don't want to call it a hobby, because I'm hoping, you know, I can maybe make a career out of it, but it's definitely something more I enjoy doing. With singing, it's like I'm more stricter when it comes to the production, the engineering, the visuals even. And then rap, it's like, hey, let's have fun. Let's make the music video be like a carne asada, you know, at the park. And it'll still pop off, but, you know, with singing, it's like, okay, this song is telling a story. So, they could definitely expect more R&B, more powerhouse vocals, and I'm also thinking of putting out Spanish music. So they can expect some Spanish music coming out, because I feel like that's something I need to do.
That's dope. That's dope. Okay, now let me ask you this, because I've talked to a lot of female rappers / singers, and I asked them this question: have you ever had maybe other rapper females or singing, I guess, you know, females that possibly been out before them? For an example, have you ever had anybody reach out to you and say, hey girl, you're doing a good job. Hey girl, you want to collab? Hey girl, you want to do this? Have you ever had anyone that's out there right now, whether they're a rapper or a singer, reach out to you?
And it be a female?
Yes.
No, but I have. Like, I've reached out to Monique, big fan of hers. And I've reached out to her, and I'm hoping we could do something, because I've worked with plenty of male rappers. By plenty, it's probably like 4, but I haven't worked with a female yet, and I'm a big fan of her work, and I'd love to work with her. So I reached out to her, and she said we could make it happen. So I'm hoping it does.
That's dope.
Yeah, so I'm on the other side for this one. Okay. But the fact that she's down and she agreed, it means the world, because honestly, like, it's an opportunity, you know, and I feel like sometimes in the music, at least the underground music industry, it's a lot about opportunity, because the people I've worked with, well, the rappers that have hopped in my songs, or I've worked with them, like, they've been in the game way longer than I have. And the fact that they're willing to work with me, that's all about opportunity, and it means the world. Like, I'm like, wow, super grateful that even though they've been doing this longer than me, they're willing to give me a chance. And so just grateful, and I'm hoping I do work with her.
Here's an odd question. Have you experienced any hate yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It actually started a little bit after Keeping Busy, and then Freak, the one that I told you that kind of just started the whole thing. There was a lot with that one. And the crazy thing is, it's mostly men.
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy.
Like, give me an example. Like, what would they say?
Try being a stripper instead. Yeah, try being, and it's grown men, and I'm just like, why? Try being a stripper, or like she should be hired in Deja Vu. Yeah, grown ass men. Yeah.
Wow. Usually you would think it'd be the same gender hating on the same gender.
Yeah.
Women on women, but
yeah,
maybe they're really women.
Right? No, luckily, there's some from both genders, but only a little bit from the women, and then the men, it's mostly men. And luckily, there's been a lot of support from the women, a lot of, women empowerment, and a lot of women support. So another thing I'm grateful for.
That's dope. That's dope. Ray Monique actually sat right there. I interviewed her here. Yeah. Her dad was here. Real good people.
She's super dope. She's it's so funny when I hit her up, it was because of her song Cruising. I'm like, because I was posting, it was during quarantine, and I was posting stuff on my story. Like, it was like a little thing I did, like posting cool artists to listen to during quarantine. If you don't have nothing to do, check these artists out. Right. And I posted her, and I was like, yo, I'm a fan. And it's so funny. She was like, hey, like, I heard Freak. And I was like, dope. But yeah, it was cool because I've had been listening to her, and she had actually heard of Freak. So I was like, that's super dope. And I think she's really talented. She's really talented. And that's why I'm like, hopefully I get to work with her.
Dope. Okay, well, you know what? One last question, and I want to ask you this and be honest. When you first took the stage and started performing, were you nervous, and do you still get nervous when you perform?
Yeah. No, I get terrible anxiety. I had a lot of anxiety with this interview, like just this interview. You can't even tell, but I'm like, I don't want to hold my hand up, but it's like shaking. But no, yeah, I get nervous before performances, and then I get like really bad anxiety. But once I'm up there, it's like a switch. Like, right. It's literally like an on and off switch. Like, all right, we're on, and it's like, kill it. And then I kill it, and then after that, I'm like, whoa, I did that. But I was shaking in my boots. But I did it, though.
That'll work. Okay, well, listen, we come to the end of our interview. Is there anything that I didn't ask you? Anything you want to promote, anything you want to push, anything maybe I forgot to ask? So.
Well, I just have a new single coming out March 8th, a new music video. They're dropping together on the same day. Check that out, R&B. And then don't laugh, but I wrote my first corrido, and hopefully I put it out soon. So be waiting on that too. It's crazy because I thought I was gonna be doing Spanish music in like another direction, but I was like drinking with the homies, and I was like, man, I'm gonna write a corrido that we could drink to. So they were like, yeah, do it. And so I wrote it, and I'm like, bet next thing I'm gonna do is hit the studio and record this. So be on the lookout for that.
That's dope. Dope. Okay, at this time, any shout outs?
Shout out to my mama. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, shout out to Soul Fam. The people that subscribe to my channel, the people that view my videos, the people that listen to my music. You guys are everything. Like, shout out to y'all, and thank you for the support.
And your manager?
And my manager, my little koala. Yeah, he's super dope. Shout out to Manny. Shout out to All Hate. We out here.
Awesome. Okay, I know your Instagram's been popping up. People can follow you there. Mm-hmm. And then when this video is uploaded, it'll be under the description. What is the name of your YouTube page again?
Isabella Soul.
Soul.
Yeah, it's just my artist name.
Okay, so make sure you guys follow, subscribe, like, comment, negative or positive. Doesn't matter. It's all good.
Right? No, I'll take it all. Bring it.
Awesome. Well, you know who just walked in?
Who?
Bobby B.
What?
Yeah, he just walked in the motherfucking building. I smelled this cologne. I smelled cool water.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah, that's what it was. or la hierba buena, I think. I'm not sure. But anyways, make sure you call somebody, text somebody. You know the rest. Isabella Sol was in the motherfucking building. She's going to hang around, take a couple of pictures, one drop. We out of here. 10 minutes. Bobby B in the motherfucking house. Hang in there. 10 minutes. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. Call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch.
And we heard about this young kid from the Harbor area named Tony A. And he was a DJ, you know what I'm saying? He was going in with the big stars, you know what I'm saying? And he was like one of us going in and infiltrating inside of all these MCs, you know what I'm saying?
A Roadium mixtape is just mixed of different types of music, no matter what genre it is. And like I said, it's like making your own musical movie.
When La Raza came out, man, even the amount of sales of the single of La Raza that got moved out of the Roadium was crazy, bro. And that song just got played and was played in all the stands over there. And I was blessed to go back one time even to see it, and I want to say in 91 or 92.
Although they were not black, they were Oriental, Asian, whatever you want to call them, they were cool. And they embraced everybody, blacks, Latinos, whoever came to the swap meet to want to buy music, they were record people.
A Roadium mixtape to me was something that was made just for the Roadium. You wouldn't hear it anywhere else. And they would do raps on those tapes that were nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? And they were truly the first mixtapes that we ever heard, you know? And they would shout the Roadium out, and you could kind of tell it was like someone's garage, maybe. The little echo, you know what I mean? It wasn't completely perfect and polished yet, but that was the beauty of it, that it was so raw that we could feel that shit. And I would just play them shits and draw. That was my inspiration, my motivation to draw. So I always had to have some type of music, you know? If it wasn't the Dynamic Superiors or the Temprees or some funk playing, it was, you know, second to none. It was quick. It was the Penthouse Players, you know, High C. And Tony G was at that time was like a god too. You know what I'm saying? He was out there DJing Latin freestyle parties, and all the girls had their hairspray like a lion and shit, and hickeys on their neck, and man, pushing strollers, and we'd be like, ooh, look at, you know, these parties at La Casa and shit, you know what I'm saying, in downtown, and mini trucks, and beds were folded in the air like transformers and shit in the boulevard, coming up, and changing and flipping, and subwoofers beating before the person even hit the corner. You get goosebumps, like, damn, and Elko would bend the corner on Dayton's, and you were like, ooh, that fool's strapped right there. That fool gotta be strapped. Motherfucker had candy ribbons, little Willie ribbons from COMPTON on the side of his shit. Jerry curl dripping all over his shit. Bent over to the side, bumping that fucking Roadium shit. And he had a tape that only came from right there. And if you didn't know about that place, or you didn't live in that area, you didn't have that shit. So that's kind of one up that the Harbor area had on a lot of other people. COMPTON was next door, but that Harbor area was ended in Gardena. You know what I'm saying? So, man, those were great times, man.
A Roadium mixtape is like a kilo of cocaine. It's like a kilo of amigo powder. You get that shit, you cut that motherfucker open, and you put it in your motherfucking CD player, and you start listening, and you be like, that's dope, shit, this is dope. How you do that? But really, a Roadium mixtape, bro, if you haven't experienced it and you was in hip hop back then, I don't know what the hell you was doing. You done fucked up. A Roadium mixtape is like, it's a kilo of cocaine. Music wise, I'm saying, motherfucker.
Man, that's a little tough, but I'll tell you what, it was the best thing ever for me, man. It was just kind of like something you never heard about. And especially West Coast was not getting that shine at the time, you know? So you would go to this place and they would make a custom tape, like, you know? And not knowing what it was just the sound that came out of those tapes that, if I'm correct, you'd have to, like, I would be feeling for those things if it was monthly, if not sometimes bi-monthly, but a tape, it was just a mixture of the latest songs all mixed together. But the intro had like this crazy mix that I at the time I believed that it was like 4 turntables at the same time, but I was like, how the hell are they doing this? Like, was it Superman behind the turntables or something like that? But a mixtape was a real mixtape. It was actually a cassette too, you know, just for the record.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio, episode 139. And this is the podcast that slaps your coach fat ass with a fat ass dick. So we're going to go ahead and jump butt naked right back into it with my boy, my brother, Bobby B in the place to be. How you doing, brother?
What's up? Good, man. Thank
Bobby B, come on down, brother. That's like The Price is Right. Remember that show?
Yep.
Come on down.
You're the next contestant.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know what? I want to ask you something. I know Canelo fought last night.
Yeah, I heard.
Did you watch it?
No, I did not.
Okay. I watched it today. I don't even know why they even paid the other guy to fight, because he didn't even fucking fight, bro.
Oh, man.
For those of you guys out there that saw that fight, I guess he was some Turkish dude, you know, and this guy, the whole time, he's just covering up. So no wonder Canelo looked good. We all know that he's got the power, he's got the skills, he's a great champion.
Yeah.
But when you're just hitting a punching bag, you're gonna look that much extra up, you know, like a knockout artist and shit. But el otro way, he was like too scared to fight. So I'm like, where in the fuck did they find this guy? The Turkish prison?
Oh,
but
man.
yeah, dude. Like that guy, I think in the 4th round, they threw in the towel. They said no mas in Turkish or however they said it.
Right.
But that was it. Like, it was just like, I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
I'm going to send it to you, bro. But like, dude, that was like, so everybody in the live chat, if you guys like the fight, put yes. If you guys said no, put thumbs down or whatever. But it was a bullshit fight. Now, do you like boxing?
Yeah, I like boxing.
Okay. Now, what era of boxing would you say you like the most?
I'm going to say like the mid-90s.
Okay.
You know, De La Hoya, you know, Chavez.
Right.
I mean, that was the era of Tyson. Like, of course, Tyson was a lot earlier, but
right.
I mean, all that era was the best, I think.
You know what I liked about boxing, because that was my number one sport at one point. It was boxing, football, basketball, baseball. Okay, boxing is probably like 3rd or 4th now. Because now motherfuckers would just put on a show. It would be like me telling you, hey, Bobby, I'm going to spit on you, and then you're going to push me, and we're going to build up the pay-per-view, you know. And after the fight, we'll go drinking. Okay, I got you. You know, that type of shit, bro.
Right.
When back then, motherfuckers really hated each other, dude. Yeah. You know? They really, really hated each other. Like, I remember when people like, for an example, Hagler and Leonard, or Hagler and Hearns, you know, Sugar Ray and Duran. Yeah. Motherfuckers really hated each other, couldn't stand each other. To now, it's almost like, you know, you got McGregor and Mayweather.
Yeah, it's all talk, all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all he does.
And then come to find out that they were actually friends, and that shit was like a setup.
Right,
you know,
It's more of an act, it's not real.
Yeah, it's more of an act, not real. And today I'm hearing, believe it or not, that rappers are starting to do that. You know,
Hey, oh man, that's another story.
That's another podcast.
Another show. I mean.
Yeah, rapper. It'll be like, hey, Bobby, I'm gonna say your fucking DJ skills are fucking weak. Fuck you, Tony. No, fuck you, Bobby. And then we just kind of go at social media and we blow up together. Okay.
Right.
So that's pretty much what they're doing today. And it's sad, the state of hip hop. I know you've been around for a long time. You've been DJing a long time. You've been producing a long time. And for those of you who don't know right now, well, you've been DJing for Sugar Free for how long now?
It's been like a good, 12 years, I should say, or more.
Yeah.
More or less.
Every time I saw him, I saw you.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. But let's back up a little bit. Where originally are you from? Like, where did you grow up at?
Well, I was born in Linwood, but I was raised in Cudahy. You know, I was there since I was a kid. And growing up, of course, I moved in a general area like Bell, Cudahy, Bell Gardens. I lived in, Huntington Park for a little bit. Growing up, back and forth, moms and pops were separated. So I had both sides. So, yeah.
I mean, I love talking DJ talk. I love talking music. I love talking vinyl. I love talking needles, scratch pads, turntables, all that shit. So I know we can go on forever. But let me ask you this, because for me, growing up in an era where there really wasn't hip hop just yet, the only records we had to scratch was like Barcades, like Body Talk, not Barcades. I forgot the name of the fucking group that sings Body Talk. The Deal, if I'm correct.
The Deal, yeah.
The Deal. Remember Orbit? They had a song called "And the Beat Goes On." And then we had
Cybertron.
Yeah, Cybertron. And then we had Prince. We had to scratch a lot of those, and a lot of those were live drummers. DJ back then, to me, I'm not going to say they were better, but they had more challenges because they're blending. They had to ride the record, and only DJs would understand this because we had to blend in with live drummers. Today's everything's pretty much drum machine. Everything's on time, so the blending's a lot better. Today, if you had like a Kool and the Gang and you're making Earth, Wind and Fire, those are live bands. So you got to ride the record, keep the people fucking dancing, or else you're gonna get fucking booed. You know, because if a lot of DJs, if you give them, for an example, 2 live band records, funk bands, and if they blend it, most likely it's gonna sound like a pair of shoes in a dryer, because it's ba-bum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, what type of music as a DJ, or as a kid, did you grow up with, man?
I grew up with the old funk. The family that would play that all day in the house. Old funk, all the old school stuff, 80s. There was some 70s in there, but mostly it was like old funk, old school, all that stuff. I mean, that's pretty much what I grew up with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when hip hop started coming in, what were your earliest memories of hip hop? Like, what some of the first songs you remember hearing?
Man, I remember the Fat Boys, Run DMC. Like I remember being in the bunk beds young, and that the Raising Hell came out.
Right.
And my brother came, was like, check this out. This is a new artist right here. This is Run DMC. This is their new album.
Yeah.
Check this out. So, we were listening to it, and that was like one of the ones that I loved. Run DMC, all the East Coast stuff, because that's what really was popping. And then of course over here out in the West, you know what I mean?
I mean, because that's where it was all coming from.
Yeah.
Now you spoke about bunk beds. Would you have the top bunk or the bottom bunk?
I was on the top.
Oh, me too. It's lonely at the top. So yeah. So I had the top bunk bed. My little brother had the bottom bed. Yeah. He used to hide his porns. Right.
Under the mattress?
No. He had the bottom bunk, so he would like stick them right there.
Oh, damn.
So at night, dámelo.
Right.
So,
Every in the woods?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you know what's funny, man? When I first heard Run DMC, It's Like That, I was at a club, and that was more like on some street shit. Mm-hmm. You were from the streets, you were able to relate to some of the shit they were saying. Almost like when we first heard The Message, Survival. That was like street rap, or what we call reality rap, know. And I remember the first time I ever heard the word gangster shit was when some dude, we were in a club in Long Beach, that Run DMC song came out, and these fools were throwing up the C. They were Crips. It was an all Crip club. And some dude goes, man, that's some straight gangster shit, homie. And that was the first time I ever heard that, Being in the studio with NWA when they were first putting together their records, I asked them, like, what do you call this? And then they said, reality rap, But they never called it gangster rap, But I'm glad now that it is, because that's pretty much what it is,
right?
But now, so you mentioned as far as East Coast, when it comes to West Coast music, like, what was some of your early memories of West Coast? Was it the NWAs and shit?
Oh yeah, of course. The NWAs, that was the shit back in the days, man.
Yeah.
When they hit, man, it was like, man, blew everything off the water. It was like another era, our generation.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, that one was one of the best ones.
You know who I had in here the other day? King T. And we talked about Mixed Master Spade. We talked about Toddy T, and I remember King T actually dropping some gangster shit before NWA, whether it was Payback Some Other or The Coolest, and then he came out with the Act the Fool album. I was one of the blessed ones, and I shared this with him, that I got to see him up on stage with Mixed Master Spade. DJ Pooh was on the SB12. Aladdin was on the turntables. Mm-hmm. 1988, and I still have my ticket.
Wow.
And yeah, that was an awesome memory, man. But now let me ask you this. I know as a DJ, when you first, at what age would you say you picked it up?
I was like 13 when I started, picking up DJing through my brother, rest in peace, Joe. He was always that rapper back in the 80s, you know what I mean? He was a beatboxer. He was one of the dopest around.
Yeah.
And, he was more into the DJing too. So that's kind of put me into that situation too, where I kind of liked it too. And 13 and about like 15, pretty much got my setup, 212s. I was blessed to get my 212s at first. I remember one time I had one record player, and it was a Gemini, one of the, old Geminis, the bout drive.
Right.
You had to be real gentle with it. It wouldn't drive back. You know how those work.
Right.
But I had one of those first, and then, I was blessed to get a couple of 1200s, and at 15, actually 14, and then 15 I was already in 21 and over clubs playing already.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Now, for the people that may not know, when you say 12s, we're talking about Technique 1200s.
Yes.
Which were, to me, still today the best turntables ever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Now, do you remember back then how much they costed you? Because when I bought my first ones, they were used. They were fucked up, bro. They were like, you could have bought them at Sanford & Son's garage sale. You know what I'm saying? They were fucked up, okay? But they were mine. Before then, I had a cheaper Technique one. The kind that you hold it and it goes, that shit.
Yep.
I remember I just desired to see two turntables back to back. I was maybe 14. So I would try to scratch on this side and then hop on this side of the turntable and pretend I was scratching on my left side, hop back on this side and pretend I was scratching on my right side because I wanted 2 turntables that damn bad.
Right.
I was sharing with Ralph M. when he was here how a lot of my homies, because I used to hang around with a lot of dudes like on a daily. And man, we're going to the Momo, we got some girls, we got some 40s, come on through. Hell no, bro. Let me tell you something. I love my turntables more than I liked Nalaga back then, bro. That's just the honest to God truth. Yep. I was just in love with music. Like, until I get this scratch packed down, motherfucker, I'm not leaving, you know? So that was the love and the desire that we had for DJing, you know? Yep. And back then, let's just be honest, it took skill to be a DJ, bro.
Yes.
It to me, it still does, but today's, it's a video game.
It's different, yeah.
So then we got a bunch of button bashers.
Yeah.
So DJing is a video game today, bro.
You know what? It's funny that you say that because now I'm in that criteria now. I got a new mixer and man, it has got 16 pads, and you're able. That's your cue points. You're able to just jump to them instead of dropping the needle on it. It's so different now. And even today, I still can't. I'm still trying to drag the record back, even though I push the button. It's just a habit.
It's just a habit.
I cannot break it, and it's crazy because I was just talking about that a while back with my boy. Hey man, all these DJs are out there, and it's so easy now. They're pushing buttons. That's all they're doing. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because that it's like we're spoiled now with this thing. It's like But still, to this day, I can't get it. I gotta really practice with it, and I'm just still learning. Still learning.
Now, when you got your first pair of turntables, your techniques, that was like the holy grail. You took care of those motherfuckers like it was your girl.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You just didn't let just anybody on it, especially with needles. You know, some nice needles and shit. What was your first mixer?
I had a Newmark 1776, the big ass long one with the sampler and the 3 faders.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
That was one of the first ones, and of course, I had. Man, I done played on the, remember what Radio Shack had, the pyramid?
Yeah.
They had a pyramid. Those were one of my first mixers. I remember those ones, man. Those were, the Newmarks were the best though.
Of course.
Yeah, the Newmarks were the best.
I had the realistic, the I think it was like $119 one.
I remember that one too.
Yeah, I had that one. I fell in love with that motherfucker, but my techniques, even though they were old, they were mine, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They had no covers on them, but my records, I took care of them like, they were my babies. They came in the plastic. I got the razor blade, I cut that motherfucker open. I put Scotch tape on both sides so that the plastic won't come up, and then I put them in a plastic sleeve. I took care of that shit. Right. So when people come up, can I see your records? Fuck no. Never lend out your shit. Never.
No, I learned that a long time ago.
Now today, you want to keep these DJs off of your turntables? Here's what you do. You go to a party, you bring out an old ass Newmark mixer, just straight vinyl. DJs will say, what is that? What is that? They don't know. Because they won't know how to blend. You know what they're looking for? The buttons. Hey, bitch, back in the day, you had to grab a record, put that needle on, find it. Hey. Now it's just.
Yep.
So when I see that, I'm like, it's so easy, even a caveman can do it.
Right.
Right. And I don't want, believe me, I don't want to sound like a damn hater, but you got to give credit where credit is due to people like yourself, bro.
Right.
People like yourself.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Now, what came first for you? This is a question that I like to ask a lot of the scratch or the blending. What did you learn first?
Blending.
That's the most important.
Yeah.
That's more important.
Blending was the first thing that I did. And of course, after I learned how to blend certain BPMs, slow to fast or fast to slow or whatnot, then I jumped into the scratching. That right there was a mission.
Yeah.
Because, you only had so many faders. The faders back then weren't like the ones today, you know what I mean?
Today's like fucking butter on me.
Exactly. The ones where you're like, you had to throw cooking oil in there, you know?
You had to lube it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, bro. Okay, like for an example, I learned how to blend, and here's how I did it. We had a house stereo, with the fucking the knob like this. So I had no scratch pad, but not knowing I was fucking up, my sister's records. So I'm like, learning how to scratch.
Right.
I had a boombox, a little small one that my mom bought me at the swap meet. So I would play a song. And as soon as I play the song on the cassette, I try to match this motherfucker by writing it because we had no pitch on this turntable. So we had to write that motherfucker. So that's how I taught myself how to blend. So until I got my turntables, then I knew how to blend, you know.
Right.
And then I remember I learned how to speed up my turntables. Take off the fucking plate, unscrew everything, that little blue knob, turn that motherfucker, shit, now it's just going faster.
Right.
So when you're at home and you pretty much self-quarantine, you know, because you don't want to go out, you want to practice, you get creative, man. Back then, you had your own blends. Sometimes you could blend songs that you didn't know were blendable, or other people would say, oh shit, he did that. Or you had your own style of scratching. You know, people knew DJs by, he's got that one scratch, or this guy's got that one fucking style. That's what separated guys like Tony G, Joe Cooley, and those guys, because they all had their own style.
Right. Scratching
went from this to, that's all they're doing now.
Yeah.
Making like UFO noises.
Yeah.
You know, and I was a judge at a battle of the DJs about 10 years ago. And this is when this was taken off. Just,
yeah.
And I was just like, okay, when they asked me for my, my judgment about those 10 DJs,
right.
I said, I can't tell. Because I thought they all sounded the same.
Right.
You know, I said, like, everybody's doing the same thing. They were one-handed DJs instead of going back and forth, you know?
Right, juggling.
Yes. Nobody went back and forth, bro. So it came down to they play a record right here, and then they just scratch right here, or transformed or whatever.
Right.
So, but you know what? I like that the hip-hop culture, as far as the DJing part, is still going forward. There's guys like the Beat Junkies that I like to give the credit to. They opened up a school and they teach people, you know, how to DJ. That's a really, really good thing. So, and much love, much respect to those guys.
Yep.
So scratching came in. Now let me ask you this: is there any videos out there on YouTube or anything where people can see you throw down?
Yeah, there's plenty in there. You just got to type in DJ Bobby B, Sugar Free. Like there's a lot of footage of shows and just little practice, little tutorials. Some little things that I was doing with my boy too, DJ Caper. Shouts out to DJ Cut Caper. That's my boy. He's the Loonies DJ. Mims, Pity Pablo's DJ. He's a good dude. I met him on tour. Me and him, we be messing around with that and putting little videos out here and there. But yeah, we got some more stuff coming out too. So
there's this one guy, bro, and I think he was DJing for. I saw him DJ for Trinier, and I saw him DJ for. And I know it's the same guy.
Ace?
I don't remember, bro.
DJ Ace, the ringleader?
I'm not sure. Maybe it might be him.
Yeah.
And I also saw him DJ for what's that? The Shaker Like a Shout Shaker. Who are those guys again?
The Yin Yang Twins.
He also DJed for them.
Oh, that's I'm trying to remember the homie's name, man. I can't remember it right now for the life of me.
Dude, I saw him, cutting, going back and forth. He had the old school style, and I was like, that's the shit right there, dude.
He had that, what was it? He had that beat going. I think it was a Cybertron or what was it? But yeah, it was that one beat, and he was just cutting it up. Old school style, yep.
Old school style. I like that shit, man. Now, let me ask you this. Growing up, other than your brother, rest in peace, who were some of the DJs that you used to like to listen to, man?
Ooh, Joe Cooley, Ronnie O. Joe, of course, Ronnie O. Joe Cooley, Jam Master Jay. Yeah, he was dope, man. Jam Master Jay, Eric B. Man, the list goes on. Like, man, there's just a lot of them out there, man.
Do you know what's crazy? And only old school heads will know this. Eric B. Okay. His scratching half of the time was all off beat, okay? But his scratching matched the style of his music and the style of fucking Homeboy's like lyrics. Like it almost like everything gelled together.
Right.
Like you didn't have to be super dope, if this makes any sense, to be dope. Like Jam Master Day, damn, tip, damn, tip, 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 yep. Damn, tip. Yep. And then they were hyping up the fucking crowd. That shit was fucking insane, bro.
Yeah.
And like we as DJs could say, okay, that wasn't that hard, but that was hard. That wasn't hard to do, but that shit sounded hard.
Yep.
So big ups to those guys. I'll tell you another guy that's still tearing it up to this day, and I met him in 1991 in Texas. DJ Scratch, that guy.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's still fucking insane, bro.
Yep.
He's still insane, and it almost seems like he kept that old school tradition of cutting, scratching. You know, so that was dope. Now, of course, Rodney and those guys are dope too. Joe Cooley and Rodney O. I remember when Joe Cooley was here. I had already known Joe for a long time, but General Jeff goes up there, introduces Joe Cooley, and he says, "Yo, I want to see the best DJ in the world." And this was like in 1988. Okay, and I remember at that time, I can actually say, at least in my opinion, that Joe was the best. You know, Joe was the best. You know, and so a lot of people were going to differ, but you know, that's just my opinion. You know? Right. But my superheroes again on the West Coast, Tony G, Joe Cooley. So.
Yep. Shouts out to Joe Cooley. Yeah. Tony G. Yep.
So now, going back to vinyl, where did you used to buy your vinyl at? I know we had various places,
Ooh, man, I Norwalk Records. Okay. I would go to Sounds of Music right there in off of Whittier in East LA. Alhambra. Trying to remember the name of that spot. It's been a minute. Exodus.
Yeah,
I remember. Man, that was old school right there. That's where we used to go.
Right.
Sounds of Music was a good dope spot because you could find all the old school right there. Oldies, 45s, whatever you needed was right there. Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: when you first started DJing, what was some of your earliest gigs? Were they weddings, quinceañeras, backyard parties?
Yeah, backyard parties. I've done the quinceañeras. Not too many weddings when I was younger, but it was more of the backyard house parties. Remember, we used to bring out the old go-go cages from Safeway, you know, put those on each end,
right?
You know, set up this, you know, people come in with their tanks and, you know, it'd be a house party. That was what the house era was in. It was just house music, hard house or regular, man. That was the shit.
Now, let me ask you this, because today I get questioned, and to me, this question doesn't make sense. I know where they're coming from, but as an 80s DJ, it doesn't make sense. When they ask me, what kind of DJ are you? So I asked them, like, well, what do you mean? Are you a battle DJ? Are you just a hip-hop DJ? And I go, look, bro, if you wanted to get hired, you played everything.
Right.
You know, even if I had to play Bruce Springsteen.
Right.
Even if I had to play Madonna and Cyndi Lauper, I better have those records because they're hiring me.
Right.
You know, the thing that sucked is that you had to take about 8 crates of records for a night.
Yeah.
You know, you got Cyndi Lauper? Yeah, sure. Yeah. You know, grab it. Okay, cool, whatever, you know. But it was, and then you got to take your speakers, the wires, hooking it up, sound check. It was a lot, bro.
Yeah, the heavy ass amp racks. Remember that?
Fuck, dude. Those amp racks, and everything is now self-powered.
Yeah, exactly.
I liked backyard parties. I liked hall parties. But I remember it was my late teens when I started DJing clubs. That's when I thought I have arrived, you know. But as far as like house parties, here's what I used to do. Let's just say, like, I got booked for a house party, and I knew they were drunk. It was already around 10, and people start talking shit. People wanting to fight because everybody gets beer balls, you know, when they're drunk. Yeah. So what you do is, and take this from me, bump that shit. Motherfuckers are jamming. Before you know it, the cops come and break it up, and you get to go home after DJing like 2 hours, and you got paid.
Yeah.
So just do that.
Yeah.
You know,
make sure you get your money up front.
Yeah. Back in the day, if I wanted to start a fight, I'd play colors. Drunk dudes start throwing up gang signs. Cops come. You DJ for 2 hours. You get your money. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's real, man.
Yeah, there's DJ tricks.
Yeah.
You know, but I've had a great time DJing weddings and all that shit. Yeah. But it wasn't until, and this is what we're gonna get into, it wasn't until we started DJing up on stage in front of thousands of people, bro, or hundreds of people.
Yep.
That's a whole new game.
Yeah.
You know, the good thing is that I'm thankful because you started DJing, what, 12, 13, you said?
Yes.
That by the time we get in front of a stadium, maybe 14,000 people, hooking up turntable, hooking up your laptop ain't nothing because you're already used to it. I've known dudes that, because maybe their dad was the promoter already, they had their son being the DJ, and this motherfucker couldn't put the needle on, like, he was like this, bro. Because he was so nervous looking at all the people, and people were just staring at you like, what you gonna do?
Right.
And honestly, I was like, hey, man, drink a beer and just slow the fuck down, bro, okay? Put the needle on the record, you know? It's easy to be the world's best DJ in your bedroom.
Right.
But when you got all those people right there staring at you, we'll see if you can, you know what I'm saying?
Under pressure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you're rocking the crowd, that's the shit, bro. Yep. So, really quick, before Sugar Free, before we go to break, before Sugar Free, were you DJing for anybody else?
Yeah, I used to DJ for. I did a few shows with KK and D. Second and None. Yeah. Shouts out to K and D. Yeah, I did a few things with them. You know, of course, some independent artists also. You know, pretty much DJing for different people, or I would do a lot of showcases. People were showcasing artists, and you know, I would DJ for different artists. You know, put a little scratch on a little set if the music was dope. Okay. Yeah, the music was dope. I'll throw a little scratch in there. If I wasn't feeling it, you'll know when I'm not feeling it, because I would just sit there and I wouldn't do nothing.
That'll work. So here's what we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about your side of production, producing music, and also DJing for Sugar Free, how you met him, etc.
Okay.
So, okay, everybody. Once again, call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody, let them know that Bobby B's in the motherfucking building. We'll be back 10 minutes. Don't fuck around. Go warm up that top ramen. Get yourself a Modelo. We got another 30 minutes. Be back. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. Call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch.
Wow. The instrumentation of, or the importance of the Roadium Swap Meet and the mixtapes in the careers of Eazy-E and NWA and Dre and Yella and a lot of other folks too, even Battle Cat, you know, was very, very high because, again, they needed an outlet, particularly when people weren't really checking for them and that sound that they were trying to create elsewhere. At the Roadium, you had at least a way to sort of mass market your stuff and have people listen to it and give it an opportunity and give it a chance. And because Steve believed in and already had a relationship with Dre and Yella, he was more open to allow them to do that. And they were doing mixtapes for him too. Dre was doing them, Yella was doing them. So you could squeeze in, or they could squeeze in or sneak in some of that NWA stuff. So when people bought the mixtapes and they heard the songs in there, yo, what's that song? It's dope. I want to hear that again. So it was a way to really market NWA and market the material that they had that wasn't getting, you know, let's say the radio play or getting the distribution that it needed at that time.
You know, Steve is definitely a part of the beginning, and he was there, gave everybody a voice, and that was in the beginning. It gave everybody inspiration to want to do more. Like you, made you want to do more. Like me, made me want to do more. Like you, everybody, Ren. It goes down. The list is so long on how the Roadium Swap Meet inspired people to be able to put music out because people couldn't put music out there. You know what I'm saying? So if you get your little song and you put it on the Roadium Swap Meet, it'd be all over LA. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to press up no records back in there. But you did, but if you got them to Steve, they would be on the mixtape because he would put them on the mixtape. And I remember he was bringing the big crate, and Steve, you get the crate and put them diamond style, and he would pick them up, give them to Drake, 4-track. They had the 4-track right there, and Steve would just sit there the whole day. They sit there the whole day. So I just remember that. I mean, a lot of stuff happened back then. We went our separate ways, but at some point, I still always remember. It's like your first grade teacher, you know her name.
And welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 139. One more, and we'll be at 140. Wow. It's coming quick. Bobby B, the place to be.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, brother?
Right. Chilling, man. Chilling.
Okay, so look we know as DJs, production comes next. Or for some people, it was production, then DJ, but it's usually DJ, then production.
Right.
When did you get introduced, or what inspired you to move into the realm of pretty much to start making beats?
Well, I mean, man, I've been wanting to make beats since I started DJing, honestly. But as far as getting into it, I mean, I've been into it for the last 10 years. Usually right now it's been more co-producing because I work with an engineer because of course I didn't have the skills to learn how to arrange the music myself because now it's all digital. It's not like it was back in the days where you get a 4-track and put some stuff together. It's not like that no more.
Right.
So, I didn't have the skills to pretty much arrange it myself on the computer. You got to be computer illiterate, literate to pretty much put that together. But with that being said, pretty much I've been doing more co-producing. I've been doing my little stuff on the side, trying to produce myself without having that engineer or having that person producing with me. But as far as right now, I just been doing mostly co-producing with another producer and putting samples, scratches, putting little noises into the beats that we're creating. That's pretty much what I've been doing so far.
Okay.
I'm actually been working with an artist from Australia. His name's Benny Sinclair.
Okay.
He's with the label that I'm signed to, which is Round 2 Music. Shouts out to Round 2 Music, Charlie Perez. And I got to give my son a shout out, Robert Jr. I know he's watching. He just sent me a text. He goes, Dad, give me a shout out.
That's dope,
He's
man.
10 years old. So.
Hey, that's dope. Yeah, you heard his name on Roadium Radio.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now with the producing part.
Okay, any artists that people may know that you might have worked with as far as the production part?
Oh, yeah, man. I worked with a lot of independent artists. Man, Old Creep, you had him on the show not too long ago. Shouts out to Old Creep from the OC. Boomer, KK son.
Yeah,
I did some stuff with him. Chino G, Glasses Malone. We did that remix, the Nipsey, the I Don't Give a Fuck.
Yeah.
That shit's on YouTube right now. That shit's going real good. It went real good the first time they released it. It's been out for, 3-4 years already? Man, the list goes on. There's so many that I've done worked with. My homie Scanless. The homie Rockbox. Shouts out to Rockbox. The Bus Clinic, you know what I mean? We got a lot of stuff coming up too.
Okay.
But there's so many artists, I wish I could name all of them right now.
Yeah. Now, how did you end up meeting Sugar Free?
I met Sugar Free. We were doing a show. Actually, we were doing a fundraiser for one of the homies. Let's see, KK's Second to None, the homie Nehru. They had a group called the Boss Clique. We lost one of the homies on that group, and we had a fundraiser, and Free came through to do a set for us and bless us. And we pretty much was chopping it up. He loved the way I DJ'd. My homie Breeze from Long Beach pretty much put it together for me, and he made it happen with Chubbs and our manager Ted and everybody, and they liked the idea, so I came on board. Of course, DJ Pinky, rest in peace, was DJing for him prior.
Wow.
So after that, then I came in and started messing with him, and then DJ Lala, shouts out to DJ Lala, she was doing some stuff for free too.
Okay.
But yeah, that was one of the first times that I met with him and actually started working with him.
Okay. And after you guys like pretty much said, okay, you're gonna be our DJ, you guys started taking off as far as, you know.
Yes, sir. Doing shows. Oh, we got shows here. We got shows there. You know, just traveling. You know, doing shows in the local area, going all the way up north a lot. You know what I mean? Pretty much in California, more or less.
Right.
You know, we would go to Arizona and the other states too, but you know, we would do general area was California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now give us a story. Possibly maybe one of the dopest shows, or maybe one of the craziest shows you've ever attended with.
Oh man, I'm gonna say, man, there's just so many of them. I'm gonna say one of the best ones too was out in Corpus Christi, Texas. We were on the Puff Puff Pass tour with Snoop, and we went out there to this big old bar park, and man, it was bananas. The whole place was super packed, and that's when I knew that the crowds in different states, of course, are different.
Yeah.
Like, they were there more for like the mainstream artists, more I believe, like Snoop, you know what I mean? Like whoever were the mainstream artists was there, the headliners. But of course, you know, they had all of us, East Siders, Afro Man, you know, Warren G. I mean, you know, everybody, we rocked it.
Right.
But it's crazy because when you go out in the Midwest or more East, it's crazy because you can see the reaction of the crowd. Like, you know, the ones that know the music and the ones that don't know the music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a challenge because some of those crowds were hard to move.
Yeah.
They were so hard to move. You know, but of course, when Snoop came out, of course, everybody knows Snoop.
Right.
The crowd was more active. Then you got people just standing around, just staring. So it's kind of like, are you feeling it or not? You know,
those are like the worst ones.
Yeah,
bro.
those are like the worst ones. But I mean, I'm gonna say the best one was Corpus Christi because it was cracking from beginning to end. I mean, the crowd was jumping, the energy was there. Like every artist that went on, I mean, the crowd was just going, and they loved it. That was one of the best shows, I believe. Yeah, it was nice.
Okay, the reason why I asked for like a crazy wild story is because one day we were in Houston, Texas. And again, we're promoting our single, the I'm Not Your Puppet song, okay?
Right.
And we had 15 minutes to go rock it. You know, now keep in mind, we're doing shows with EPMD, Daz Effects, and Guru and those guys, okay? High C goes out there, you know, Crawford goes out there, he looks at the crowd, and the fucking crowd's packed. And the guy tells us, hey man, they warm up the crowd for you, you have to go out there and tear it up. I said, I'm gonna go out there. You know, I'm over here touching the needles so I can hear the thump. Okay, I got sound, ready to go. And I'm already back there, and usually he'll say, yo, Tone, drop that shit, you know? And I throw in like the intro music, do some scratching. I'm still waiting. And I'm looking like this, and I'm like, try to get his attention. Like, nothing. So I like walk out the stage, and I told Steve, you know, our manager, I said, hey, where's Crawford at? He got nervous. He went and go take a shit. He got bubble guts. You know? Yeah, so we had to literally wait for him to go take a shit, bro, because he got nervous out there, bro. So,
Right.
So yeah, he came back. He goes, man, I had to drop a mean ass log, homie. And I was like, let's do this shit, bro, please. Hope you wipe your ass, right? Anything crazy like that ever happened with you guys, bro?
Oh man, no, I'm not nothing like that I could remember. Nope.
Anybody jumping on stage?
Fans, man, they would jump the stage. I remember one time we were on stage with Quick, and a girl jumped on the stage, and was it Rob, Big Rob? Man, this girl jumped right on the stage, and as fast as she jumped on stage, is that fast she got pushed off. Boom, and she just flew. I was like,
yeah. Those were fun times because motherfuckers would jump on stage, security, throw them motherfuckers,
like
bro.
Nothing, like rag dolls.
Like rag dolls, bro.
Yep.
So, and I guess some of those guys think they're cool for doing that shit, but you're gonna get fucked up, man.
Yeah.
You know, anybody ever call out sugar free. Maybe you guys are somewhere eating or whatever. I'll give you a story. We're in Sacramento. True story. We had rocked the Halloween show, and there was some Bloods, bro, that came, and they approached me. They didn't approach them, but they approached me. Yo, man, is Quick a real Blood? And I said, I'll tell you what, when you see him, you ask him, bro. I didn't want shit to do with them. I'm just trying to find out, is he a real Blood? And I'm like, when you see him, you ask him, bro. Cool, whatever. But that guy was looking for trouble, okay? So I went upstairs and I told Quick, hey, man, don't go downstairs. Some fucking lames out there, wanting to know if you're real. And he was like, okay, cool, whatever. 15 minutes later, there's no lie, bro. Bap, 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 bap. Like gunshots. We're upstairs and we hear that shit. Come back down in the fucking lobby. Walk through the lobby, right when the doors open and go outside, the motherfucker was on his back, bro. He asked somebody, gets the wrong question at the wrong time and got blasted. He killed his ass.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. But you know what? I guess he was looking for trouble and he found it,
Right.
But it was that same fucking dude, bro. And I was like, oh, well. Young dude, too. He looked maybe like 21, 22 years old, dude.
Damn.
But yeah, a lot of dudes willing to give up their life for a street.
Waste.
Yeah, that doesn't give a shit about them. So... But anyways, so now, you ever do any production for free?
No production for him yet. Just pretty much co-produce. I did a couple of things with L Fingers, which is the one that produced Smell My Finger and the last album, The Resurrection. Dope producer, man. Dude is so talented. It was fun working with him. I didn't do really too much, I mean, just on the DJ standpoint, throw little samples of Freeze music in there and, a little scratch or two. That was pretty much it. But, I mean, that right there was a blessing because I enjoyed doing that, and it was cool.
You enjoy the traveling?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's tiring. It's tiring. I mean, it takes a lot out of it. Yeah. Especially when, your manager has to, book the flight early in the morning and shit. Yeah. So
it becomes work, bro. It becomes work. A lot of people think that it's all fun and games. Yeah. It becomes work, bro.
No, it is.
I remember we would fly in. Okay, we got to go get something to eat. Then we're going to go to the radio station. Then we're going to go to sound check. Then we got to go check in. Okay, then check in, take a shower, take a shit, take whatever you got to do. We got to eat dinner, go get mic check or whatever at the club, and then just come back to the room, get dressed, perform, because we leave tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And you're like, fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, you're wore out, bro.
Yeah.
The highlight is, performing and getting the fucking people. But when you do have the stubborn people that just look at you, the dope thing about our era is that we didn't have people doing this the whole show.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
We had people, when you say throw your hands in the air, they fucking threw their hands in the air. Okay? Today's motherfuckers are like, the whole fucking crowd, bro. But I think that's what kind of ruined it today because people are not even looking for they're just looking that I get.
Right, there's no crowd participation.
Right. Everybody's
stuck on their phones. That's just the new thing, I guess. I mean, but it's not like before, like you said, man, when we used to rock crowds, it wasn't all about the phone. People would participate, throw their hands up, sing the lyrics out with you, and made it a lot more fun and interesting.
Hell yeah.
Now it's not like that no more. It's different.
Yeah, and that takes away from the energy because a lot of us, whether you're a DJ, you're a rapper, or you're a hype man, we want that energy coming from the crowd, bro.
Right.
If we get that energy, that participation, we give them more.
Right.
But if they're just fucking sitting there like they're watching a movie,
yeah.
After a while, you're going to be like, this is just dress rehearsal, fuck it.
Right. Yeah, it does help when they're participating and, they pretty much are helping us. They're motivating us.
Yeah.
We're doing it for them.
Absolutely.
So when they're not participating and we're not doing it for the fans, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you off the wall question. You ever received any hate for being his DJ?
I have, but it's funny because the hate was always, of course, behind your back, people talking. Never once nobody stepped to me and actually told me how they felt. But I felt it, and I know there's some out there. But I pretty much am more focused on doing better stuff than I did last year, trying to step up my game all the time, trying to avoid all those haters. Yeah, I mean, because there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
hey, if we ain't doing it, if we don't have no haters, we ain't doing nothing right. You know what I mean? I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they definitely don't hate on losers.
Right, exactly. That's real. That's real.
You know, I mean, think about this, okay? Back then, we didn't call it hate. You know what they were? They were just jealous.
Yeah, celosos.
They were jelly. So, celosos. Yeah, no, that's the truth, bro. That's the truth. And you know what? Like, I just never understood how somebody can see somebody win and look at them and say, I hate that motherfucker. Like, I just don't understand that, bro.
Right.
But I don't know how you can live with yourself. You know, but oh well. Now, let me ask you this. What is Bobby B working on today? If anything, what can the people look forward to? Now, I know it's very hard to even answer that question because of the COVID thing. Right. You know, the concerts haven't really opened up just yet. So what has Free been doing and what have you been doing? Man?
Well, I know Free's been quarantined.
Yeah.
You know, he's just staying away. We ain't doing nothing right now. You know, of course, because of COVID. But, you know, pretty much I just been doing my own thing, you know, doing cuts, scratches on different, you know, artists' music, doing a lot of private events, I should say.
Yeah.
You know, little birthday parties for the homies, like the, you know, the homie Drezel Washington. He's one of the artists that's on the Bus Clinic, which is a sugar-free thing we got going on. It was his birthday yesterday, so we celebrated his birthday. You know, partied a little bit. It was cool because it kind of reminded me of a show because that's all my people that are all around when we're doing shows.
Right, right.
You know, of course, you know, Free wasn't there, but I mean, it was a cool thing, you know. I'm doing this, you know, certain clubs right now. I got this club that I'm doing out in Corona called The Depot. We're doing it Funk Fridays every Friday. You know, bring a mask, come through, have a drink. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what we've been doing. We got some other spot, Anaheim, 99 bottles going over there, doing a little DJing. Okay. You know, just trying to keep things going for right now. I mean, the money flow isn't like it was before, but it's there. Right. Thank God, you know, because this times there's nothing out there, you know. Right. People are scared. They don't want to do nothing.
Now, when you say bring a mask, can I bring any mask?
Yeah, like bring any mask.
Like, can I bring like a Michael Myers mask? Yeah. Freddy Krueger mask?
Bring that mask. Right? Yeah.
That'll work. That'll work, man.
It's today's generation. Bring a mask. Like before, it's like, this guy's wearing a mask. What's he going to do? Rob somebody? Every time I go into a store, it feels like, man, I'm going to go in there and rob it because they got to put a mask on.
You know what's crazy? When okay, I'm not going to say it, but I'll say that for another show. But, okay, now, listening to today's music, do you listen to today's music, man?
Honestly, no.
Okay. Now, why?
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna say this. I mean, like we were talking about earlier. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's whack, but I'm gonna say 80% of the stuff out there to me is whack.
Okay.
But at the same time, there's artists out there that do got it still and are performing and doing songs, but today's relevance, you know what I mean? Of course, today's sound, it's a different generation now. It's not our generation no more. I think that's one of the ones that it's one of the reasons why we pretty much don't find the hip hop today attractive anymore because it's not our era. It's not our generation. Our generation that we grew up is a lot different than it is today.
Right.
And I think that's one of the reasons. The other reason is, like I said, 90%, 80% of the music is trash, bro. It sucks.
Okay, like my son, he just turned 30. Okay, he likes today's music, but he also loves our generation.
Right.
Us, we love our music, but we don't like this new generation.
Right.
One day we had a conversation. His whole thing was, "Oh, you're just a hater. You're just a hater." But I had to explain to him. I said, "Mijo, check this out. I love rap. I love hip hop music. Mm-hmm. Why do you think I don't like today's music? Like, what is it that you like? Why do you think I don't like it? Well, because you're not into lyrics. Okay, let's go." And I'm like, that's not it. That's not it. So I introduced him to, again, the KRS-One, you know, Eric B, Rakim, you know, Public Enemy, you know, Tribe Called Quest, shit like that. Okay, and he likes all of that shit.
Right.
But he still likes today's music, and it's cool. I don't hate on it. I just have a hard time with it, bro. I just have a hard time with it. And we like rap, but what do you think it is that we just don't? It's just not appealing to us, man.
I think it's because there's no interest. It's not interesting no more. They're talking about lifestyle things, materialistic things, shit that don't make sense. The music has no meaning no more. The meaning's not there no more. There's you know, our era, at least when our era was in, everything had to do with a story. It was a story. There was a reason for the song. There was some type of interest of the song that I felt interesting because it was a story. Everything made sense.
We were able to relate to it.
Exactly.
And not one, two rappers sounded the same.
Exactly. Everybody sounds the same now. They're trying to sound like the next everybody that's big right now in that industry as far as the new generation music. I mean, all the other artists behind them are just trying to sound like their favorite artist, which is, you know, whoever they're into today. Right. And I think that's why everybody sounds the same. You know, I mean, they're trying to sound like their favorite artists. They're not trying to sound like themselves. That's the worst. You know what I mean? You got to be your own, like you said earlier, you got to have your own sound and do your thing and not follow somebody else. It's cool to be a fan of an artist. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to do your own music, don't follow that artist. They did it already. It's just like a new artist today doing gangster rap. What are you doing gangster rap? MWA and all them did that already. Everybody's tired of hearing about that. Right. They want to hear something different. Bring them something different. Don't bring them something that we all heard and know of already. You get what I'm saying? Right. That's where it's not interesting no more. Right. That's why I don't listen to stuff today, because it's not appealing to me. Yeah. To me, it's just a whole bunch of noise. The sound, it's like they're not listening to the lyrics. It's just the sounds or the beat or whatever. I don't know how they do it. How they, you know, I can't grasp that.
Yeah, no, me neither. I know my youngest boy, he went to go see that one guy. What's his name? Blue something?
Blueface?
Blueface. He went to go see him, Blueface. And you know, okay, tell me how that goes. You know, I mean, so yeah, there it is there. But anyways, yeah, you know, but it's funny, man, because I try to look for new talent. I want to like new acts. I really do. And I want this generation to understand that us old heads, man, we like rap. We do. It's just this is so far fetched from us that I can't make the connection. Like, you know, so it's hard. You know, today, most guys today will say, well, if it's not banging in the strip club, it ain't banging. Well, you know, like, I mean, am I supposed to go to, hey, girl, can you twerk to this? You know?
Right.
You know, yeah, really? Okay, I can hear this in the strip club, you know? So, I mean, I remember going into the fucking strip club where they were playing How Do You Want It by Tupac. MC Breed, Ain't No Future in Your Front. California Love, motherfuckers were jamming, okay? Mm-hmm. But, okay, last time we did a show, I think, you were there. I think you might even went there. No, you were there. Sugar Free, it was second to none, AMG, and then Quick ended up showing up in Arizona. Then after that, we went to Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah, I remember. Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. We went there, and they were playing all the new stuff. Okay, this is about maybe 2-3 years ago, maybe. All the new stuff. Game was there, and you know the crowd was dancing and everybody, but it was all the new stuff. I didn't recognize anybody. It was all like the guys, like they were sipping on lean,
mumbling.
Yeah, that's all it was. Then they threw on California Love. The fucking crowd went insane. And I remember I turned around and looked at Quick and I said, who changed the music on us? Because I personally believe, my opinion, music didn't evolve. I think somebody changed it on us. We no longer want to play that. We're just from here on out. This is what you're going to play, and this is what this new generation is going to listen to. Right. I don't believe it changed. I don't believe it evolved. I don't believe that it went from great to dumb. I believe that somebody changed it on us. So we're going to dumb these fools down. We're going to have men with purses. We're going to have them wearing skinny jeans, showing off more curves than girls.
Oh, man. I don't get that.
So, That's all I'm saying, bro. I mean, jeans so tight you can see the veins on your balls. So.
Yeah, it's a new generation, man. I'm telling you, I don't understand that.
I mean, we went from Ben Davis to Huggies. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
that shit's crazy. I mean, if your pants are tighter than your girls, there's a problem.
Something wrong.
Yeah, something wrong.
Yep, something's wrong.
Yeah, if your boyfriend got more booty than you, something's wrong. So,
yeah.
So, anyways, but
I seen that the dude wearing designer shit and the girl not wearing designer shit. You look better than the girl.
Yeah, dude, it's like, it doesn't make sense, bro. but I believe that a lot of the music inspired that shit. You know.
Yeah.
So
it's new generation, different generation.
Yeah, I'm glad, bro, that I never switched up my style. I stayed to the way I grew up, whatever. Some people might have said, well, you know, you could have changed it up. Maybe you didn't get bigger because you didn't change it up. No, I just wanted to be true to myself, and this is just me, bro.
Right.
You know, I mean, we can't wear skinny Ben Davis in the hood. You know, we just can't do that.
You're gonna get beat up.
Yeah. You know, I mean, we can't do that. Or fucking Commando with Ben Davis on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit ain't gonna happen. Okay. Let me stop, bro. All right. Anyways, Bobby, I want to thank you for coming out, brother. Anything that I didn't ask you, bro, anything that maybe you want to promote, you want to share, is Free working on anything that maybe you could?
Yes. March 1st is supposed to be dropping Group Therapy. Check that out. You can go on YouTube. On the IG, you can go to Official Sugar Free.
Right.
You can check out all the little snippets on there. It's a hot project, man. It's a compilation of a lot of different artists out there, and you know, of course, you know, we got the Buzz Clinic, Sugar Free's Buzz Clinic, which is other artists that we're doing music with. Drezel Washington, the homie Pomona Dirt, Brian J. You know, they just came out with another video. Brian J, Sugar Free, Pomona Pimpin' Young, and J.O. Felony. It's called Roll Call. Check that out on YouTube. Yeah, that right there, they're what they're working on right now. So it's finished. It's finished.
That's dope. March 1st?
Yes, March 1st.
Okay. Any shout out you want to give?
Yes, sir. Shouts out to Tony A, Roadium Radio.
Thank you
for having me, man. That right there is
thank you, brother.
You know, it's a blessing, man. I really appreciate you very much.
Likewise, man.
You know, thanks for having me. Shouts out to my family, you know, my son, my daughter, you know, God, you know what I mean? Shouts out to him. You know, fans, everybody following me. You know, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's been supporting me. It's very appreciated. Shouts out to Round 2 Music, Charlie Perez, Angel Baby. Ciao. What's up, my boy? Laneway, Tony Lane, Black Tone. His birthday was just not too long ago, last week. Shouts out to the General, Black Tone. Sugar Free, of course. Chubbs, our manager, my big brother, Ted Diaz. Shouts out to my brother. Shouts out to Breeze, Big Breeze from the LBC, man. That's my boy right there. My boy Tunes, man. He's always with me. He's my boy that's always going with me places, man. Checked out track out too on the Resurrection. It's called A-Tunes. You know, him and Free went in on it. It was cool, man. That was a blessing too. Man, I mean, shouts out to everybody out there that I've been working with. Like I said, man, it's been a long journey, and I really appreciate everybody for fucking with me, man.
And your boy, man.
Of course, yeah, my boy, yeah. Casimir, his daughter, yeah, my boy, Cash Flow's in the house right here, you know what I mean? Shouts out to my boy Fatal Mac B. Man, there's just so many, man. Shouts out to my boy Sniper, Big Sniper from the sea, from Cut A, man. That's my boy right there. Man, there's just so many, man. We need another hour for me to give all the shout outs that I need, but
all good,
I appreciate you, man. Thank
Likewise,
you.
my brother. You stay blessed.
Sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Bobby, for giving me the honor and the pleasure to interview you. And Isabella Sol, thank you very much for giving me the honor and the pleasure to interview you. Other than that, I got a couple of more shout outs. Once again, Anthony for helping me run this ship. Alex Cervantes Enterprise. for helping me with this. My son B. Scanless. Much love, much respect to everybody. And if I didn't mention you, it's because I didn't want to thank you. But other than that, Freaky Tales this Friday. But we'll be back Wednesday here. But Freaky Tales Friday, once again, call in and give us your freaky stories. We're not talking about like freaky. We're talking about paranormal freaky. Okay, so other than that, see you guys Wednesday. We've got 2 special guests. And much love, much respect to everybody. God bless you guys. We'll see you guys Wednesday.
You got it